Every time I look at you, my heart says, "Hey, look, it's Rebecca."
Send love, not like. Send pro flowers.
So this is a Valentine's Day commercial. I'm going to be talking about Valentine's Day and the meaning behind it, the history of it, and the traditions that go along with it. Valentine's Day is generally celebrated on February 14th every year, at least in the United States, depending on where it is in the world. Some places aren't even allowed to practice things like Valentine's Day. It's also known as Singles Awareness Day if you don't have someone to spend it with, which was probably half this class. Personally, before I kind of started doing all this, I didn't understand too much of the meaning or the history behind it, but understanding it will help you kind of get a new perspective on it, depending on if you're single or not. So Saint Valentine is the patron saint of lovers. The Catholic Church recognizes 3 different Saint Valentines. There's Saint Valentine, Saint Valentines, and Saint Valentinus, which I got off of a video from the History Channel. It's actually a Catholic Church sanctioned holiday. Cards weren't actually produced for Valentine's Day until the 1840s, but beforehand there were 3 theories of how St. Valentine's Day started. There was the theory that St. Valentine performed secret ceremonies for young lovers because at the time the church believed that single men did better in war than those that were married because they were worrying about their families back home. So there's that theory. The second theory is that St. Valentine was killed for helping Christians escape from jail. And the third theory is he was in jail and sent his first Valentine to a crush that was outside of jail, and he signed it "Love Your Valentine," which is like this, I guess, what we do now when you send Valentines. But regardless, all the theories end with him being a martyr. So that's one thing they all have in common. Why do we celebrate Valentine's Day? It's generally to show like our love, our compassion, our care and concern for the people around us. But it's generally associated with romance, even though it really didn't start entirely off of romance, depending on what theory you look at. It actually started off of just love and concern. And Valentine's Day is also just associated as a day to kind of relax with the people that you love, depending on whether you're spending it with your significant other or friends. Because people do that a lot nowadays. It's actually very common to spend time with your friends as opposed to your significant other if you don't have one. These are a few statistics about Valentine's Day that I got off of brainstatistics.com. About 34.3% of men send flowers to either their significant others or someone that they care about on Valentine's Day with cards. 53% of women were said to, if their significant other didn't send them something, they would dump them like right on the spot if they didn't get anything on Valentine's Day. The annual amount spent is about $13.9 billion every year for Valentine's Day. So I guess guys do spend money, even though nowadays everyone seems kind of cheap from a girl's perspective. And about $116 per person comes out to what they spend on Valentine's Day. Let's get some statistics. And this is about how we celebrate Valentine's Day. A lot of people will either take their significant others out to dinner, they will take them on hot air balloon rides, to ride on horses. It's usually just something that the other person that you're spending it with would want to do. But personally, every year I celebrate with either friends or my significant other, or every year, regardless of how old I am, my dad will give me flowers and chocolate even though it's usually not associated with that, because when my sister and I were kids, we used to always get upset that my dad would give my mom flowers and a gift, but we would never get anything. So finally, one year, my dad brought my mom a bouquet of roses, and he brought us just little carnations, and then like a chocolate. My mom got the bigger stuff, but we still got something, and it was just so my dad would kind of help us understand that it's not so much the romance behind it, it's just about caring for another person, which if you look back at the theories, it was really just based off of caring for other people. So even though we associate it with romance, it really didn't start that way. So today I talked about some of the basic history, the meaning, and the traditions. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding of what Valentine's Day is and what goes on during it. Hopefully you're not so morbid if you don't have a significant other, because you can still do things with other friends or even family like my dad. And next year, since I was supposed to do this before Valentine's Day, maybe next year you guys will look at it in a different way. Thanks.